Full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like absolute trash. Hi there guys, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Let's Go Hammers. I'm StuBo, thank you very much for joining me. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm currently really not feeling very well. However, I want to make sure these videos get out to you, and I want to make sure that we get through this save as quickly as possible. That means that if I'm ill, I'm just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. It's not the illness, just to clarify. It is a cold. It's just the first cold I've had in just under 2 years, so it's obviously hit me for 6. If you're watching this in the future and you're thinking, what's the illness? Never time travel to the years 2020 or 2021. Top tip for you there. But yeah, we're back. We're going to be playing 2 games today. We're going to be playing Juventus in the Champions League knockout rounds, the first knockout round, and we're also going to be having the second derby of the season against Tottenham. If all of that sounds like a good plan to you, please do drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel as well for more Football Manager goodness. If anything, just do it to make me feel better. A like on the video makes me feel better. There we go. What more incentive do you need? Since you were last with me, we've gone through January and we've played very well. Because we always play very well. As you can see, we've won most of our games, as we have been doing. Again, continuing my belief that we are just a very good football team. We've through to the Carabao... Well, we were through to the Carabao Cup semi-final. We got knocked out by Arsenal. Because of the World Cup, it's a one-legged affair, so there was no second leg. It was just one game at Wembley, and despite Julian Alvarez giving us a chance, we did not get through. But other than that, we've got through in the FA Cup, both the third round and the fourth round, and we've picked up league wins against Arsenal. League draw against Arsenal, league win against Manchester United, QPR Newcastle, disappointing draw against Bournemouth, then beat Everton, beat Villa, beat Fulham. Some of these games were a bit closer than we really wanted them to be. Fulham, by the way, although we won 2-0, there were 2 relatively late goals, and they were the better team throughout. They had more chances, they had better possession. So we've not had everything our own way, but we have been grinding results out, and that is the encouraging thing. What is also encouraging is Julian Alvarez has been scoring a lot of goals, and Thiago Almada has come back into the team. He did pick up a slight knock, but he is back, and he is playing his best. I believe Harvey Elliott had signed, or at least we had already agreed to sign him when you guys were last here around the Chelsea game. I think we played Chelsea and we played Oxford, I think. So I think you guys knew about those games anyway. But yeah, full disclosure, he scored his first goal here. He has had his first assist as well, so he has been playing pretty good. In the January transfer window, we didn't actually leave it at Harvey Barnes. We actually made some more moves, if I quickly show you. We signed a couple of other players. Some of these guys are youngsters, but then some of them are players who we hope are going to make a difference. Arsene Zakarian is a player who I think I mentioned in the last episode. We have confirmed that signing. He will be coming in at the end of the season. He is out on loan at his former club just to finish out the season. We've also signed Brenner. Now, this was my director of football, and it might look like a silly transfer to make, bearing in mind we've got Amine Gouiri, who's been a very good striker for us. One player who hasn't been very good for us this season has been Roberto Alvarado. He's not actually played that well for us. He's not played that many games, to be fair, although the second that we decided to do this, he actually started playing well. My thinking was, we'll bin off Alvarado, and we'll put Amine Gouiri to being our backup left-sided midfielder. Great, in theory. Gouiri can play there. If anything, you could argue it's his natural position. The problem is, as soon as we decided to do that, no one wanted to sign Roberto Alvarado. As you can see, there's no interest in him whatsoever, despite him being on both the transfer list and the loan list. We have made a promise to him that if we get an offer of $22.5 million, he will be allowed to leave. Unfortunately, no one came in for him, so we've now got a spare winger. As such, he is no longer registered for our Champions League squad. It's one of those things. It was a gamble that backfired, and Brenner really has not hit the ground running. He's only played in 1 or 2 games for us so far. In fact, he's played in 3 games, apparently. I'm assuming those Champions League games weren't for us. They can't have been for us, in fact. So he's played in 2 games for us, actually, so far, and he hasn't really looked that good, if we're being completely honest. But none of that really matters, because I'm sure he will come good. If you played FM, you know that Brenner usually does, so that's absolutely fine. He's coming in as our backup striker, I should explain, by the way. Alvarez has still got my full backing, but it's good to have another top-level, top-quality striker in and around the team. But enough of that. Oh, actually, while I think about it, we had a couple of really good goals. apologies, my head is all over the place today. I really shouldn't be recording this video, but I am. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the schedule. Goal of the season contender from the QPR game. You definitely need to see Jarrod Bowen scoring an absolute banger, in my opinion. An absolute wonderful, wonderful goal. There was one in the Arsenal game, one of the Jarrod Bowen goals. I can't remember whether I showed it to you, but if I did show it to you, you won't be seeing it right now. But if I haven't shown it to you, you'll be seeing it now. Bowen might be winning the award just on sheer volume of quality goals. He's been absolutely incredible. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, none of that nonsense. We're going into the Juventus game, and this is the 11 we're hoping can pick up a win in the away leg of the game. It is two-legged. Yeah, it is two-legged. I remember in my press conference it asked about being away first, so it's definitely two-legged. It's not going to be like the Carabao Cup. This is the 11. Lafont in goal, Maffeo, Diop, Ginza and Lodi in defence, Souček and Rice in midfield, with Bowen, Almada and Guiri supporting Alvarez. As I said before, Guiri is the man we want to be as our backup left midfielder. Current first choice right midfielder, Noni Madueke. For some reason he's out of the team, and I want to say it's because we rested him in the last game against Fulham, so I don't really know why he is not on the bench at the very least. In fact, I don't even know why he's not starting, especially because Guiri got a 6.1 in his last game, so let's just sort that out. Guiri can come back in. Jarrod Bowen had a terrible game, by the way, in his last appearance, which is a bit of a disappointment, but none of that matters because we're just going to get into this game and hope for the best. So, without any further ado, Juventus versus West Ham in the Champions League. Let's go. Juventus are one of those teams that I am a little bit worried about playing against, but we've shown ourselves to be a very competent football team of our own. I mean, you look at our 11 and we have got some absolute quality players. I should, by the way, point out I have put a real name fix on my save, as well as the logo badge. That's the logo badge. Logo packs, face packs, things like that. I finally got around to updating all of my stuff, so you will be seeing a lot of those things kind of improve. So you can see it is called the UEFA Champions League now. So I've just wanted to get that out there. I have finally gone and done all of that, so the game looks a little bit better, a little bit closer to what it should look like if it had everything. I think the only thing it's missing is Manchester United's things, for obvious reasons, if you've been keeping up with that stuff. While I've been talking about that and rambling on and through my coals, we are on the attack at the moment. Souček whips it in, looking for Madueke, and Madueke puts it in the back of the net, but I think it's been disallowed. I would click on the little drop-down thing on the left-hand side of the screen, but from the looks of things, since the last update to FM, that has been fixed, and it no longer gives it away. However, it would have given it away, because we've just scored an away goal. Hi guys, Future Stu here, just to interject in this bit. I'm fully aware that there's no more away goals in European competition in football at the moment. Yeah, me didn't remember that, so apologies for all of the times I mentioned away goals. If it's a thing, I know it's not. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit better than I was. I'm not quite 100% yet, but just while I've been editing this, I realised how many times I talk about away goals. Forgive me. Madueke has scored against Juventus in the Champions League first knockout round, first leg, away from home. We have an away goal to take back to the London Stadium. Look at the crowd jumping up all as one in unison, in delight. I would jump up with them, but I don't think I can stand at the moment. It was very close, but it's a powerful finish with his left foot. It's not even left-footed. It's a powerful finish with his left foot. And we have started very well indeed. And I'm very, very happy with the players so far. More of the same, boys. More of the same. Juventus building from the back to begin the restart. Looking to try and get a chance. Playing with a rigid 4-4-2. But sometimes a rigid 4-4-2 is good enough. Sometimes it's the kind of formation that can cause you a lot of problems. It has had a bit of a revival. I think more teams are figuring out how to use it and have it be a bit more dangerous. And as you can see right there, that's exactly what's happened. And Moise Kean has put Juventus back in the game. It is 1-1. That strike partnership of Kean and Benzema doing the business for Juventus there, and we have to be quite disappointed with that. I've left us not wide defensively, but we are standard because they are playing two wingers, and we wanted to be very aware of that. However, watching how they just cut through us in the middle, I am contemplating the possibility that we might actually go narrow again. because right now it's a little bit disappointing. Actually, they've changed the way that these guys are playing. They were originally on the scout report as both wingers, so we are going to go narrow actually, because they've seemed to have done one on us there a little bit, which is a bit frustrating. So the Juventus are going to kick off the next highlight with a throw. We do need to be careful. However, we have got an away goal, and that is the most important thing. I am confident of this West Ham team getting a result at the London Stadium. It's away games I'm a little bit more concerned with, but I am confident of us picking up a result at the London Stadium. We have gone very narrow here, as you can see, and all of a sudden we are leaving a lot of space out on the wing, and Julian Brandt nearly makes it 2-1 to Juventus. I'm going to demand more from the boys, because we need to be doing better than this. We have kind of wasted that good start. To be fair, it is Juventus. Let's put it into context. This is a Juventus side who should be scary. We've motivated the players there. So what can we do? Well, first of all, Matthias Ginter, who has demanded more game time, has been terrible, so he's going to go straight away. Paolo Maffeo's had a terrible time out there, but we have not got a right back to bring on for him, which is not good. Okay, so we have changed things a little bit. I mentioned bringing Ginter off. We've also brought Lodi off as well for Cresswell. We've changed some of the roles a little bit. So we've got Maffeo, who's on a 6.2, having a terrible game. Put him as a defensive wing back, and we've dropped Bowen back down here. And we've set him onto crossing from deep. What I'm hoping will happen is we get the ball to Bowen. He can whip the ball out and try and aim for any of these three. Maybe Madueke can cause some chaos at the far post. We've got Alvarez floating around. Armada coming into the box as well. That's what I'm hoping will happen. We've got one more substitution left, but at the end of the day, we're already doing the business in the sense that we are with an away goal. We have got the next leg to come. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can come out of this with a draw. A draw would be fantastic in this game. A draw and I'm happy. Anything above a draw, even better, but I'll take a draw. And Aaron Cresswell, determined to make it so that we get more than that, but we do not immediately. He gets the ball, but the highlight does end there. Maffeo's having an awful game. It might get to the point where we put Zuma out wide to right back and we actually put Rice in the midfield, because Maffeo might cost us. He's having a really, really bad time. I'm going to shout at him because he's having the worst game I think he's ever had in his life. Part of me is even tempted to drop to a midfield three with a holding midfielder, because they just seem to be causing us all kinds of chaos. They're in again here. Arthur running into the box, gets to Moise Keane. We managed to somehow, oh my word, well, we don't really defend it very well at all there actually. We are going to make a change. Okay, so this is what we've ended up going with. We've shuffled things around a little bit. Zuma has gone to right back. We've brought Ezequiel Palacios on instead of Jared Bowen, just because of how tired he was, because he's actually picked up a knock, which I didn't realise. We've actually kept Maffeo on as a defensive winger. It's something I don't normally do. What I'm hoping is, being in this position, he can just hopefully offer a bit more cover on this side, because we just seem to be really struggling here. But you know what? I've got buyer's remorse immediately. We're going to change him to a winger on support. Straight away. Changed my mind on that. We have been quite poor in this second half. I'm going to just put us on to playing out wide as well, and we're going to try and distribute to the fullbacks, which we already are actually, but we're going to try and distribute a little bit quicker, and just try and play with a little bit more pace. That's the hope, and we're just going to go like that as well. With no idea if any of that will work, but we are going to give it a go and see whether we can maybe sneak a second goal out of this game. Again, the main thing in these games is getting the away goal. I would quite like to win the game. I would quite like not to lose the game. But the away goal was the most important thing, and we've already achieved that. But I'd like a decent result going into the Spurs game, because I think the Spurs game is going to be quite difficult. They play all the way out to Wojciech Szczesny, who starts them building out from the back here. I would quite like us to disrupt the ball and get it off of them as soon as possible, but we don't seem to be wanting to do that. Again, I don't know if anyone else has struggled to play against teams who play a 4-4-2 in this year's FM, but every time I come up against a 4-4-2, for some reason, I find it the most difficult formation to play against. I don't know if it's just having the two strikers and a threat out wide, because two strikers normally, I would... Oh my god, we nearly conceded. Two strikers, I would normally find it very very easy to sort out, because I'd just go narrow and just clog the middle up. But with a 4-4-2... they have two players out wide, and those two wide players really cause all kinds of problems. I'm just going to encourage the lads just for the last few minutes. So for some reason, I just find it a real struggle. And they've now gone to 4-2-3-1. I think we've seen the game out here. We have got the draw, which is a great result. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was, although possession-wise we weren't very good. But we have to take that as a very good result, actually. When you think in context, we've just gone to Juventus and we've just picked up a draw against them and an away goal. That's pretty good. I love that. That was a good result, but I just found myself wanting to go back to my FM save. Yeah, tell me about it. That was a hell of a result, actually. Putting it into context, that was pretty good. Also, by the way, I should just point out, if we win our next Premier League game, I think we'd go top. I'm just going to let that rest right there. But yeah, I'm going to go away, and I'm going to come back to you when we get to the Tottenham game. So I'll see you in a moment. So, a handful of changes from the Juventus game. We're bringing in Enzo Maitland-Niles right back. We're also bringing in Kurt Zouma to the starting 11, Aaron Cresswell and Ianis Hadji all coming in as well, either for form or just for rotation purposes. Something I forgot to mention, the last time I was with you was, in terms of transfers, I actually completely missed a couple of them to tell you about. Anel Amadozic, we've signed on loan from Manchester City. The reason we've signed him is because Chris Metham has left the club. He's gone to Brentford on loan, and I think if he plays 10 games, yeah, there we go. Mandatory £10 million fee after 10 appearances. That's more than we paid for him. It's not as much as I would have liked, but it's better than nothing. So he should get 10 games because he's gone there as an important player. So that shouldn't be anything we need to worry about. But this is the 11 we're going with for the game against Tottenham at the London Stadium. Lafont in goal, Maitland-Niles, Diop, Zouma and Cresswell in defence. Soucek and Rice in midfield with Bowen Hadji and Madueke supporting Alvarez up top. I don't know how this is going to go. I feel like this is a game that, based on the form we've had this season, we should be winning. But I've got a horrible feeling that we're not going to win it. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Okay. Something I want you to pay attention to when the Spurs team comes up. They're playing Harry Kane on the left wing. I know they signed Andrea Bellotti. If you remember, we wanted to sign Andrea Bellotti last season, but he refused to come to us. So in order to facilitate him in the 11, they've moved Kane out to the left and they've put Son out on the right. I don't really understand what they're doing, but I mean, there's got to be a reason for it. I'm assuming that it must have worked for them at some point. It just seems like a bit of a madness to me. Almost as much of a madness as Julian Alvarez scoring like that. Diop hasn't got the assist, so it must have come off a Spurs player, but we have gone 1-0 up in the derby at the London Stadium, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. That will make me recording this bloody video while not well all the more worthwhile if we get a win in the derby, and that is a glorious thing. Of course, they beat us earlier in the season in the first game. And I would very much like it if we could beat them now. Just realised my my screen has reset, which is not ideal. Let's just readjust that. There we go. Yeah, if we can get the result here, I'll be very happy indeed. We have been marginally the better team so far, but not by much. Not by much. Chance-wise, we've only just had one more. XG-wise, we are ahead of them, but I mean, I'm mocking their front three in terms of deciding to play Harry Kane out of position, but they've still got a front three of Bellotti, Kane and Son. That's an insane amount of quality in that front three. However, Thomas Soucek has just scored an absolutely bloody brilliant goal. So maybe it doesn't matter who their front three is, because the rest of the team are just conceding goals. 2-0, Thomas Soucek, happy days. Was it Jared Bowen with the assist? I didn't quite see who passed it back to him. I think it was. Soucek makes that late run from midfield. And what a hit that is. What a hit that is. It's Keylor Navas in goal for Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, it could have been anyone. It could have been me, and I could have done a little bit better than that, but the keeper just hasn't done a very good job there. And we do find ourselves 2-0 up in this first half, which is a glorious thing. Oh, Soucek was trying to return the favour to Bowen there. Some slick little passing at the back for Spurs, but they need to be a little bit more proactive. I'm quite happy for them not to be. We have set ourselves up to be defensive, quite narrowly defensive, if that makes sense. Reason being, they've got two very good finishers on the wings, and I don't want them to be cutting inside, because if they're cutting inside, they'll be able to get shots off. Harry Kane now, I've just noticed, was playing as an advanced playmaker. Wonders will never cease. Wonders will never cease. I mean, he's probably very good there, but I just can't see him being better there than he would be up front. we'll go into the second half, giving everyone a pat on the head, and hopefully we can continue. I don't know. Bear me 1 second. Sorry about that. The two formations were the wrong way round. So Spurs were here next to the West Ham stats, and likewise on this side. It wasn't making much sense. We're into the into the halfway through the second half, and we are still doing very well indeed. Spurs really struggling to get anything going. Admittedly, we haven't really done much in this half either, but we're the ones who are 2 goals ahead, so we don't have the urgency on us to try and do anything, whereas they do, and they're not at the moment. How'd you get to Alvarez? Alvarez plays it through to Jared Bowen. Is Bowen going to try and go for a shot? He's going to cross it in. He crosses it in. Madueke. Imagine if he scored. He does try, and I'm assuming that Ramos is not Ramos. It's Luis Felipe. It is indeed. We haven't made any substitutions, so we might as well make those now. Aaron Cresswell's not had a good game. Fullbacks have not had a good game. I know there's been a recent update for FM. Has that affected fullbacks? Because I've noticed today that every game I've played, fullbacks have not had a good time. I'm just wondering whether maybe that's a thing that's just there now. Madueke as well has not had the best of games. So what we might do, we'll bring on Guiri actually, and that'll be the 3 changes. So Ben Johnson, Renan Lodi, and Amine Guiri are going to be the changes. Let's go back into the game. I do want to give Brenner some football, but I think a big derby like this might be a bit too much for him. So we'll go for one of the next games as a start for him and get him a few more minutes that way. Declan Rice is shattered, and so is Jared Bowen really. So they're probably not going to play in the next game, which is against Liverpool, which is not ideal, but that is a heck of a game to win against Tottenham, local rivals in the derby. That is a good performance as well. We absolutely deserve the win. I will take that. I will absolutely take that. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And as you can see, we're top, boys. We are absolutely, unequivocally top. And it's within our destiny. I can't speak. I'm a little bit of a choke there. Apologies. It's well within our destiny to stay there. We're not reliant on anyone else at the moment. We are reliant on ourselves, and that is a glorious thing. I can't believe we're top of the table in the second season. I don't think that's going to last, but we'll see how we go. Right. That's been a very successful episode. 2 wins. Well, sorry, not 2 wins. Stu, don't record when you're ill. A win and a draw, with that draw feeling like a win, I think is a very, very good pair of results. So, we will be back in the month of March, and we will come back, I think. We're going to come back for that Juventus game. We'll also, I think, come back for the Brentford game just before it as well. So, I'll play the Liverpool, Man City and Wolves games off camera. Come back for those 2 games, and then we'll see if we get through the FA Cup, and if we make it through the Champions League, we'll then see where we fall in the month of April. But yeah, we'll wrap things up there. Okay, so full disclosure, this is actually StuBo from the future. I've had to re-record the end of this video because for some reason it really bugged out. I don't know why, but my audio was fine, but the video itself kept just like freezing like that. So I've given up trying to resurrect it and use it. I just thought I'd re-record the end. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. Consider subscribing to the channel as well for more Football Manager awesomeness. I've been StuBo. You've been awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.